Hello, Vividus Tribe. How's everyone doing? I'm doing great. I wanted to bring you a little bit of an update today. Um, I think we all expected the dominoes to keep dropping, but now it's kind of slowed down, and we're like wondering what's happening next. So, thought I'd bring you a quick update. So, we all expected big things on 9/11, which didn't materialize. Interestingly, though, someone has done the calculation that in the Julian calendar, 9/11 is actually the 24th of September 2022. So there's a discrepancy in how the Julian calendar versus the Gregorian calendar works. Um, I think it's by 13 days. So yeah, a lot of people seem to think that the 24th of September is something to be expecting. Even so much so that I found this really interesting. A legislator in Germany took to the floor at the Bundestag this week and let slip the same date. There's a video of it, but basically in German, if you understand German. But basically, what he said is, dear colleagues, this 24th of September 2022 will be a day remaining in our memories as a day we will say, I remember exactly where I was. I mean, I think that's how most people feel about 9/11. I can still know exactly where I was, the whole picture, the whole situation, I still have etched into my memory. So what is it that's going to take place that day? He said. What do they know is coming, or better still, what are they planning? Whatever it is, the reaction of the rest of the legislate is quite telling. As he speaks today, the September 24th, there's an open and audible surprise and grumbling of the audience, so they know too, in other words. And clearly, a slew of them were surprised and not happy that he said what he said. Um, There is one other example of a legislator saying something about an upcoming date that is very relevant to this. Months before Russia began its special military operation, a Russian legislator, Vladimir Zeronsky, took to the floor of the Russian Duma, their legislature, and said on February 22nd, the world will see Russia's power. Of course, that date subsequently turned into the 24th of February, 2 days later, when Russia entered Ukraine for its special military operation. The point of this comparison is that legislators sometimes get the date slightly wrong. And remember, this is a very complex operation, as I said. Sometimes, you can't get everything done by a specific target date, and you've got to do it whenever you're able. But for the most part, they love to follow like gematria and dates of significance. And interestingly, the 24th of September 2022 in gematria also adds up to 666, which is interesting. Anyway, I'll continue. But September 24th, which coincides with yet another piece of information which came out of all places, the Vatican. The Pope issued an order at the end of August instructing all Vatican entities worldwide that they must move their financial instruments and assets to the Vatican Bank no later than the 30th of September. That's very interesting. Let me continue before I fill you in. It also coincides with very detailed information that I was able to procure from banker financial people through non-traditional means, which I broadcast to the world on the August 29th radio show. Who did this come from? I'm trying to give you the author's name. But basically said whatever is coming later this month is apparently huge, so huge that a member of Germany's legislature told his colleagues it will be, what he basically said is, it will be a day remaining in our memories as a day we will never forget, and you will remember exactly where you were on that day. So this person advised that everyone has got a little bit of stock in terms of food, medical, emergency shelter, heat, whatever they need for a couple of days and to keep that safely. But yeah, who knows? we know that the switch to the quantum financial system is imminent. We know that Jassara Nasara is imminent. We know that an EBS is imminent. Hopefully, they will go ahead with the EBS and they will not decide to drip it in slowly, because I think everyone who's known the truth for months and years, like the ones in this audience, we want full disclosure now, and we've been ostracized and ridiculed for long enough for just knowing what's really going on by our friends and family. And we want that EBS. So hopefully it will happen, because I think it's important that the world, do wake up in a major way. I think it's painful for all of us to see this movie and this lie continue. It's just too painful to watch. We're getting sick of it now. We want to see the end of the movie, right? So this is very interesting. So I don't know if the whole switch to QFS and Jassara and Sara is going to be moved to the 24th or the end of the month, but it could be, because if you think about it, there'll be a lot of uproar in the world based on this, because remember, the banks that are linked with the cabal, they will not get refunds. All the other banks not associated with the cabal. So when they write off all these loans, they will get that money refunded from this alliance that have been seizing gold and assets from all these illegal entities and corrupt elite. So maybe there'll be an uproar and all of this has to happen at the same time. But I do know that the QFS quantum financial system has been rolling out, it seems, across many, many different banks. Many people have commented that, people, in the bank that are working in these banks have told them that they're busy implementing a major new system. Some even said they couldn't give cash, for certain times of days. So it's not a small thing, and it's definitely all over. I wanted to tell you something more about the Vatican, if I can find it. But yeah, I think the fact that we know things are heating up is pretty apparent. Even Kash Patel, who you all know, he's been hitting so many interviews, like Q associated channels, truther channels all over. So he's been hitting and heating up the communication waves, like all over. And even on a Fox interview recently, he admitted that they gave Elon Musk 25 billion to create rockets for DoD, Department of Defense. So a lot of people that have been speculating about Musk, I think we can safely say that he is on the part of the white hats right now. I don't think he's always been. I think this is a fairly recent switch. He was apparently born into a dark cabal family. But it seems clear that he's made the switch. It is apparent also because we know that there are like loads of Starlink satellites rolling out globally. Recently, there's like 52 new ones in Spain, and that's just one example. And, they're prepping that as well to be able to sort of host also the quantum financial system to make it safe. Not host, but it will be the channel on which it's delivered. And Starlink satellites are also apparently, I believe, particle weapons. The weapons track every nuclear silo on Earth and destroy every launched nuclear rocket in 2 seconds and fully vaporize them. It's been long reported by patriots, anons, or freedom voices that Musk's Starlink and Starlink is a military operation connected behind the scenes to Space Force, the Guardian US intelligence agency. The US military has far exceeded future technology into the future of weapons and healing technology as well, I believe. What else can I tell you? And everything basically connects back to Tesla and Donald Trump's uncle, John Trump, who Tesla was very close to, I believe. And I do believe they're pretty much from the same family as well, and the same bloodline. So I found that fascinating. So I think Tesla was a recipient of the National Medal of Science and a member of the National Academy of Engineering. And Trump was noted for developing rotational radiation therapy together with Robert J. van der Graaf. He developed one of the first million-volt X-ray generators and later created the radar system. So these accomplishments were published by the controlled media. Behind the scenes, Trump was a student of Tesla and lived near him in the same neighborhood. They are both connected to military operations, time travel, etc. The Philadelphia experiment, which was basically to do with time travel. To this day, their works and creations of time travel projects and machines are hidden in full operation in the Cheyenne Mountains and under Lake Geneva. Interesting. Yeah, and then also I've heard that something like 3 million Q phones have already been manufactured and ready to go, which is actually safe technology. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. There's been all sorts of speculation that even Steve Jobs may be alive still. I mean, we pretty much know now JFK Jr. is still alive. Diana, most people agree with that. I can't fully say yeah or nay. And then wouldn't be interesting if Steve Jobs is still alive, because remember, he pretty much got kicked out of Apple at some point. And also he wouldn't allow his child to even have an iPhone until they were like 18 or something ridiculous like that. So what does that say to you? He knew it was harmful. I think somewhere along the lines he lost control over the company, and his values that initially fueled the creation of that company kind of disappeared, and the corporate structure took over, which is profit driven. So we'll see. That would be super, super interesting if that is the case. What else can I tell you? I was interested to see as well. So, all these like Prince Charles, or now it's probably King Charles, and Bill Gates and all these guys have told us that the earth is overpopulated, that we need to bring down the population of the earth. They did this exercise to really check the population density, especially in Texas. So the world population is 7.753 billion. The area of Texas in square miles is 268,597 square miles. Not going to go over what that means in square feet. But that basically means that there is enough space to give every single individual 0.23 acres. So basically the whole Earth's population can fit into Texas. Every person in the world fits comfortably into Texas. There's no population problem on Earth. And somebody actually went and did the calculation that if you were to able to give everyone that amount of land, which is basically not little, it's like 2,000 square meters per person if you had to convert it, that there's enough space in Texas to fit everyone. So this whole lie that they've been telling us that the world is overpopulated is completely misguided. Just to go back to the Vatican, so behind the scenes, the top cardinals and officials were obviously loyal to the Khazarian mafia. We spoke about that and how they were infiltrated and formed in the first place. So, and also the Knights of Malta has been on lockdown, imprisoned within the Vatican walls. The military operations, the white hat military operations, have quietly been seizing the chain of command in the Vatican Empire. So it's quite a big empire that really stretches globally. So these chain of command from the military order of the Knights of Malta control and had installed the UN with Khazarian control. So with money seizing and quickly disappearing through the EU countries, NATO, UN are inside a battle to gather money. And the infighting is out of control as Germany hides the last crates of gold. Switzerland is hiding gold. The Vatican has asked for all its assets to be returned to the Vatican Bank, like I said before. And now with the Queen passing, Canada, Australia, and several others are breaking away from the cabal-controlled monarchy. And so the money is quickly running out. So Germany is apparently expected to be the first EU country to fall in the central region with military martial law beginning. Whether that's true or not, I can't say. But apparently France will follow, and the UK, and then Italy. So the next stage of the desperate attempt to sway attention away from the collapse is to create a nuclear event or like another 9/11. You know, every time they get into trouble or there's money missing or they need to detract, they create a false flag. So I think they're working very hard, obviously, to stop that. But you know, suffice to say that we are in the second part of the storm now, so things are going to get a little messy. So yeah, we should just keep alert, not fearful, just alert, keep some backup, be smart. I wouldn't go to like big events, but interestingly, talking about big events, all of the music concert, major music concerts have been cancelled. There's a video that I saw, I think something like at least 15 major artists have cancelled their tours and their performances due to happen over the next month or so. I mean, Justin Bieber was supposed to come to South Africa, cancelled. They all had, of course, different excuses as to why it was cancelled. But that tells me something big is going down at the end of this month. So buckle up, stock up, and as I said, don't be fearful because I believe everything will be fine. We need to go through this eye of the storm in order to have, you know, some peace and sunshine on the other side. Unfortunately, it's necessary. The cabal is getting desperate and they're now pulling out all the stops. So we really are in the final stages of this war. I don't believe everything is going to be magically beautiful, you know, after September. I think there's still going to be a lot of chaos in October, November, but we should see a much brighter picture by the end of this year, I believe. There'll still be some things to work through, but things will look a lot better. And I don't know, I can visualize it. It's like I can feel it in the air. I think a lot of us have also felt how, I said this before, how the energy suddenly lifted when the Queen passed. I mean, it's like, suddenly it's just like, I can take a deep breath and I can just relax. And I think many people felt like that. So there's like an energetic relief, a sigh of relief that the earth has given, and a raising in frequency that I think we've all felt. At the same time, there's so much light codes and energetic upgrades coming through the sun, that we're all feeling a little bit out of sorts. Some people are feeling aches and pains and, either very tired or they can't sleep like me. I'm so energetic, actually. I'm feeling kind of the opposite. I guess it's because I've already had my rest over the last couple of months. I really focused on my own body vessel and looking after it. And now I feel like I'm rested and I'm so energetic. I just want to get going, and a little bit of insomnia. But yeah, so if you are feeling symptoms, just look after yourself, eat healthily, drink a lot of clean water. Um, just be mindful of everything that you're doing. If you're going out of the house somewhere to, whether it's a restaurant or shopping center, just be mindful. If there's a lot of people with jabber things around, and you not be mindful of all the shedding, because that's a real thing. But don't be paranoid, just protect your own energy, stay grounded, stay centered, and you'll be fine. We're all going to be fine. It's a bright new day that we're waiting for now. So, yeah, I just wanted to hop on and give you this message, this positive message. I hope it's been positive for you, along with a lot of other dramatic sort of news revealed. And yeah, stay strong, stay positive, stay healthy, stay centered. And I'm sending you lots of love and light. Until next time.